Hello students. So yesterday when we were talking about in the chapter of the component of the food of the different components, we also discussed about that of the proteins, that what are proteins. So proteins are basically what, student, it is a body building food. Okay, it help in making the new cells as well as it help in repairing the damaged cell. So we can say that it help in both the cases, it help in repairing as well as making the new cells. So it help in the building the body. And if we talk about the amount of students, so we discussed that the amount of protein must be greater, means the requirement of the protein rich food is more in the kids rather than the adults, because they are at the growing stage, and for the growth and development that need of the protein is much higher. In that also, student, there are a lot of sources of the protein is there. So food that we get from the animals, the food that we get from the plants, both sources, both of them we provide us the protein to us. Like egg is there, student, cheese is there, milk is there, meat is there, students. So these are what, this we obtain from that of the animals. And if we talk about the plant source, students, so pulses is there, which including all type of dal, or soya bean is there, or groundnut is there. So these are what? These basically consisting of a protein in it, and all these things we obtain from the plant itself. So these comes from, these are the sources of the protein from the plants and animals. Later on, we started with that of the vitamins. Vitamins are what, student? It is the another component of the food which is very important, because it helps in keeping our health strong. It makes our bones strong. It keeps our skin, our hair, our eye, teeth, gum, even the proper growth and the functioning of our internal organs. All these things is regulated by this vitamin. So basically, if suppose you are not consuming sufficient vitamin, students, then the disease can occur. Okay, so deficiency of vitamin can cause a disease to us. Although we know that the consumption of vitamin is very less. Okay. Okay, so although the consumption of the vitamin is less, student, but we must consume a proper amount of a vitamin. Now these vitamins, again, student, it is basically divided into different types of vitamins, and we had given the name to the different vitamins into A, B, C, D, like that. Okay, so vitamins is divided into vitamin A, vitamin B, C, D, E and K. And if we talk about the vitamin B, students, so this vitamin B is further divided into the types of a vitamin B. So for such case, we had used a number to represent the different kind of a vitamin B. And that is vitamin B1, B2, B6 and B12. Okay, so like that, student, we have divided into different numbers, and overall that is known as a vitamin B complex. Okay, so overall is known as a vitamin B complex. So what is vitamin B complex? Which includes the vitamin B1, B2, B6, B2. Okay, so we have started with the vitamin A, student. What is vitamin A? Vitamin A. What is there in the vitamin A, or how the vitamin A is helpful for our body? So consumption of a vitamin A rich food will help in the proper making our eyesight good, making our skin and healthy, making our skin and hair healthy. Okay, so vitamin A for proper eyesight, then proper hair and proper hair is there and skin. Okay, so to get a healthy skin and hair, we should consume the vitamin A. Now, what are the different food? Which are the good sources of that of the vitamin A, students? So sources are egg is there, milk is there, butter is there, then green vegetables are there, then carrot is there, fish liver is there. So a lot of the sources, they are rich in the, so vitamin D, this vitamin A, sources of the vitamin A is the all these. Now we will move to the next vitamin, student, and that is vitamin B, sorry. Okay, so we discussed about vitamin A. Now we will talk about the another type of a vitamin, and that is vitamin B. If we talk about the vitamin B, students, so vitamin B is essential for the growth and for proper functioning of our digestive system, of our nerves, heart, and that of the muscles. So you see, it is very important for maintaining the function, for helping the proper function of our internal organs, including all the kind of a system, that of a heart or a muscle or a nerves, and that of the digestive system. So we should consume the vitamin B1 rich food because it is very essential. It helps in proper functioning of all these things. So what are the different sources to this from which we get the vitamin B1 in a proper amount? So that is egg, milk is there, whole grain cereals are there, like that of a wheat grain or a rice is there, potato is there, yeast is there. So these are what? These are the green vegetables also. So these are rich in vitamin B1 and help in maintaining the functions, okay, of our internal organs. So basically we can write it, the first thing in the vitamin B1, that it is necessary for the proper growth and it is necessary for proper growth and functioning proper growth and functions of digestive system, heart, nerves and muscles. So you see here, students, vitamin B1, it is very essential for proper function, for proper functioning and for proper growth of the digestive system, heart, nerves and that of the muscles. Now what are the different foods, student, by which we get a proper amount of a vitamin B1, or we can say that these are the good sources of the vitamin B1. So sources of B1 are sources. So what are the different sources, students? So it will include eggs, milk is there, then grains, grain or cereals, grain, cereals, which include the wheat or rice, potato, meat, as well as that of the green vegetables. So you see here, students, so all these are the good sources of the vitamin B. Consumption of all these food, they provide a good amount of vitamin B1 to us. If we move to the next one, student, and that is vitamin C. Vitamin C, student, basically vitamin C is it help in the vitamin C, it help in maintaining, or it makes our bones, our teeth and that of the gums strong or healthy. As well as it is having another function that it help in increasing the resistance of our body against infection and disease. Okay. So first one, that it help in giving strength to that of the bones or the gums as well as the teeth of our body, and the second one is it increases the resistance power of our body against any kind of infection or disease. Now, what kind of a food are there that we should consume which will provide a good amount of vitamin C to us, students? So the name is C, and from the C we can say citrus fruit. So citrus, both pronunciation are correct. So citrus fruits. So this citrus fruits, citrus, it means in Hindi we call it a khatta. Okay, so all the fruits which is sour in taste, we will include them in a citrus fruit, like that of the lemon is there or lime is there. Okay, so not only this, even if we say that the fresh fruit and the fresh vegetables also, both of them consisting of a good amount of vitamin C. Amla is there, student, which is also known as Indian gooseberry. So all the fruits which is sour in taste, basically they consisting of a vitamin C in it. Now let us write it. So the first point in vitamin C is it is necessary for proper, better we should write, for keeping our teeth, gums and bones strong. For keeping our bones, teeth and gums strong. So this is the first function of this vitamin C. If we are consuming a good amount of vitamin C in our food, students, so first of all it will help in keeping our bones, teeth and gums strong. The second one is that it increases the resistance of our body. So we can write it. It increases the resistance against infection and disease. Okay, so So it increases the resistance of our body against any kind of a infection or that kind of a disease. Now, what are the different sources, students? So if we talk about the sources of the vitamin C, so all the kind of citrus fruits, they comes in that of the vitamin C, like that of orange is there, lime is there, student, or lemon is there. So these are what? These are the citrus fruit. Indian gooseberry, which we called as a amla. Okay, so lot more examples are there of that of the citrus fruit. Now, citrus fruit is not only present in, vitamin C is not only present in the citrus fruit, but it is present in all the fresh vegetables and fruits. So we can write it. It is present in all the fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, so all type of a fresh fruit and vegetable consisting of a vitamin C in it. Okay, so vitamin C necessary for all these things, increases the resistance, and we must consume a good amount of a vitamin C because it helps in many ways. Now we will move to the next one, student, and that is vitamin D. Vitamin D. If we talk about the vitamin D, students, so basically the role of the vitamin D that it helps in maintaining the proper growth of the bones and the teeth. The main function of the vitamin D, it helps in making the our bones and that of the teeth strong. So basically what happened, the food that we take, we used to extract the calcium from it, and that calcium will make our bones, make our teeth strong. So vitamin D, consumption of the vitamin D help in increasing the, proper functioning of that of the growth, proper growth of that of the bones and teeth. Okay. So we can say that consumption of vitamin D, it helps in proper growth of bones and teeth. Okay. So it helps in maintaining the proper growth of the bones and teeth. Basically what happens, student, I told you the food that we use, which consisting of a lot of vitamin D, especially consisting of the calcium in it. So this calcium is absorbed by the body, and finally this calcium help in giving strength to that of the bones and teeth. Okay, so we can write it that vitamin D helps to absorb the calcium which is present in the food. Okay, so vitamin D, it helps to absorb the calcium which is present in the food, and this calcium helps in giving strength to the bones and teeth. Okay, so vitamin D basically its its role is to help in absorbing the calcium, and this calcium help in giving strength to the bones and teeth. Now, what are the different sources, student, by which we get a sufficient amount of a calcium? So, these are, let me write it here only, sources. So, these sources are, student, egg, milk, then fish liver oil, meat. Okay, so milk is there. Milk provides a sufficient amount of calcium to us, and from there the vitamin D it help in the maintaining the proper growth of the bones and teeth. Now, not only this, along with all these sources, student, there is one another thing, that is when we are exposed to sunlight, the sunlight will also provide a sufficient amount of vitamin D to us. Okay, so next one is the exposure to sunlight. Okay, so if you are exposed to sunlight, the sunlight will also provide a sufficient amount of vitamin D. Now you see here, students, you have seen the newborn babies. They are basically, what we used to do, we used to keep them outside, or we used to make exposed to sunshine every day. Okay, so the newborn babies, they are made to expose to sunshine so that their body absorbs a good amount of sunlight and good amount of vitamin D in their body, which prevent it from a disease which is caused due to deficiency of a vitamin D, that is known as rickets. So if you will not take a sufficient amount of a vitamin D, or if a newborn baby will not going to take a sufficient amount of a vitamin D, it will cause a disease, that is rickets, and that is why we used to take the newborn babies and expose to sunlight. So these are the different types of vitamin, students, that is there in your syllabus. Although vitamin E and vitamin K is also there, but we have to study up to here, that is vitamin D. Okay, so vitamin A is there, vitamin B1 is there, vitamin C is there, and vitamin D is there. Okay, so you see milk, green vegetables, these are then the normal grains that we used to eat. They are the good sources of the vitamins only. Okay, so whether you will study the vitamin A or B or C or D, you have seen that milk is common in all, as well as the green vegetables. So we should consume more and more green vegetables, as well as we should drink a glass of milk, because it will fulfill all the vitamins that we do not consume for a whole day. So it will help in maintaining it and provide the sufficient amount of vitamins to us. Okay, so this is the vitamins. Now we will move to the next one, student, and that is minerals. Okay, so protein is over, carbohydrate, fats, and finally vitamins are also over. Now we will move to the next component of the food, and that is minerals. Minerals are actually mineral salts, students. It consumes salts, and that's why the name is not only limited to minerals but the mineral salts. Okay, minerals. Now if we talk about the minerals, students, so minerals, basically it is important for us for proper functioning, for normal growth, as well as we can say for the good health also. Okay, so we can say proper functioning, normal growth, and good health. For good health, we require mineral. How, students? So you see, mineral is needed for the formation of the blood. Mineral is needed for the coagulation of the blood clotting. That is also very important. Otherwise, what will happen? The blood will continuously flow. Okay, so for the coagulation of the blood, mineral is important for the proper functioning of the bone and that of the teeth. It will also help in the functioning of the muscles, in the nerves, and the thyroid gland. So you see, although the amount of mineral that we need in the food is a very less, but it is very important that we should take this mineral like that of the iodine or iron or sodium and potassium is there, calcium is there, phosphorus is there. So these are some important minerals that we should consume in our food for the proper functioning of our body. Okay, so although like vitamin, the amount of mineral that we need is less, but it plays a very important role. Now, if we talk about the mineral, student, what I said that we were talking about the iron and iodine, but mineral we are taking not as an element but as a salt. So first of all, write the definition of the mineral, that is, our body needs mineral. Our body needs mineral for proper functioning, for normal growth, and also for good health. So this is the basic and important role of the minerals in our body. How they are helpful for us students? So you see, it is needed for proper functioning bones and teeth. Then it help in the coagulation and formation of the blood. So we can write it, formation and coagulation, both. Coagulation of blood, for muscles, for nerves. Muscles are there, nerves are there, student, as well as for thyroid gland. Okay, so for proper functioning of all these things, student, we need the mineral in a good amount. Okay, although in a good amount, it means we need the minerals for the proper functioning of all these things. Although the amount of mineral needed is in a very less amount, although we need very less amount of mineral, very less amount of mineral. Okay, so some of the important mineral that is needed by our body are some of the important minerals which is needed by our body are calcium, then phosphorus, then iron, students, iron, iodine, then sodium, potassium. So these are some of the important minerals that is needed by our body, and they all plays a different role, different kind of a role in our body. Now you see here, students, calcium is there, phosphorus is there, iron is there, iodine is there. Now if we talk about the mineral itself, so these are what? If you look at the iron and that of the phosphorus or the potassium, these are what? These are actually the elements. Okay, whenever we study about all these things, student, we called it as an element. Okay, so don't get confused with that. We do not take element, actually we are using the salt rather than the element. So you can write it, we minerals are consumed in the form of salt, not as element. So when you see it, student, you will say that calcium, ma'am, it is an element, phosphorus is an element, but actually it is not an element. Whenever you will see, although you are not aware of the concept of the element, but you just understand that these are what the minerals that we used to consume is in the form of a salt, not as an element. Okay, so we can say that since it is used as a salt, so instead of calling it only minerals, we can call it as a mineral salts. So what we used to consume? We used to consume the mineral salt. Okay, so we can say mineral salts instead of minerals. Okay, so we can call it as a mineral salt instead of minerals. Okay, so these are what, students? These are the different kind of minerals. Now we have to study about the different kind of a mineral like that of a calcium and phosphorus, that how calcium is useful for us, student. What will happen if we will not consume the food which is rich in the calcium and phosphorus mineral salt? What will happen if we are not going to consume the food which consisting of a iron in a good amount? Or what will happen if you will not consume the iodine or sodium and potassium? So although the need of the mineral is less, but their function is huge. So we should consume a proper amount of a food, which is rich in mineral salts. Okay, so let us discuss about this.